Start by lifting the back seat and folding the carpet pad back. Then twist the cover to gain access to the fuel pump. Disconnect the fuel pump power harness, the leak detection sensor, and then the fuel line. Now you can remove the lock ring and pull the pump out of the tank. After the hoses are disconnected, release the lock and remove the pump. Start by removing the fuel line attached to the filter that goes to the top hat. Then remove the pump connector and the ground ring. Remove the float connector from the top hat and set the top hat aside. Install the provided line onto the factory filter, making sure that the connector points up. Now install the included harness. Current kits come with plug-and-play harnesses and require no cutting. Next, we are going to disassemble the new top hat and pump assembly to make installation easier. This is not required on single pump models. Now install the included filter socks onto the wall roll pumps, making sure to remove the plastic insert that protects debris from getting inside the filter. Now it's time to install the pumps into the tank. It's best to insert one and then rotate it into position to install the arm. Next, you're going to go ahead and install the factory pump back into the tank, making sure to engage the lock. Again, new kits are plug and play, no cutting needed. Now we can reinstall the O-ring into the pump arm if it was already removed. With all of your pumps installed in the tank, go ahead and connect the plumbing. The auxiliary pumps plug into port 3, the primary pump plugs into port 1. Line up the arm to the top hat and connect it back together. Now with the top hat reinstalled onto the arm, you can go ahead and make your electrical connections by plugging the primary pump into C2 and the auxiliary pump into C1. With all the underside panels removed and the tank dropped, it is time to go ahead and run your fuel lines. Starting underneath the car, you're going to route your fuel lines over the drive shaft into the top hat area. Next, you should go ahead and make your connections to your top hat, with the return line being in port 2 and the auxiliary feed line being in port 3. This is so that way the lines do not twist while installing, as these fittings do not rotate. Now that the connections up top are made and the tank is fully secured, let's route these fuel lines. Your feed line routes along the same path as your factory feed. Your return line goes along the opposite side of this frame rail all the way down to the fuel pressure regulator. Connecting the fuel lines to the fuel rail outside the car is not necessary, but it does make the process easier. Start by installing the feed line into the rail facing the firewall, and the return line with the 180-degree fitting into the rail at the front of the car. Now route the lines by the firewall down to where we will be working. Fully seat the fuel rail, then install the screws. If you're utilizing 1-to-1 boost reference, go ahead and route that vacuum line now. Route your feed line into the clamps along the factory feed line. If your car does not have the 2 studs as shown in this video, you may have to zip tie the fuel line to the factory feed line. Make sure to route the feed line from the fuel rail in a way that does not get bound or cut. To install the regulator, you will be reusing some nuts that we're removing from the car. To clarify, since my arms are in the way, what I'm doing is retightening the nuts to secure the regulator into position. With the return line connected to the regulator, push all of the slack back to the tank area and secure the lines using the included brackets. This keeps it tucked up and away for dual exhaust cars. Now install the return line from the rail to the regulator. There are several ways to route this wire. We chose along the power lines. Alternatively, you could have run it with the fuel lines and then routed it across the engine bay. With the lines run, you can feed your wires through the port shown here. Moving to the trunk, we're going to start installing the rest of the pump activation harness. Start by removing the trunk liner to gain access to the battery. Connect the positive to the positive terminal and the negative to the negative terminal of the battery. Using the included plug-and-play harness, go ahead and make your connection to the top hat and the factory wiring. After all the lines and electrical are run and connected, it is time to set the fuel pressure regulator. Utilize the test plugs to turn the pumps on at 100%. Then set the pressure gauge to your desired pressure, typically 43.5 to 50 psi.
With everything installed, the only thing that's really left is a custom tune. Now, if you found this video helpful, like and subscribe for more.